Hello, everyone, and welcome to our virtual FedEx hiring event. This is hosted by DCARA, the Employment Services, and the Employment Services team. So this will give everybody an opportunity for you to watch me ask the coaches a few questions, and then the viewers will have an opportunity to ask more questions. So there are instructions on how you can ask your questions either in sign language by turning your video on or through the chat. So since the pandemic, DCARA Employment Services has been focused on clients who are receiving unemployment insurance. So we've been focused on them in the past year to provide information, referral, document translations, and that has been going on for over a year now and is still ongoing. Now we've started to notice that there's been a slow shift to back to work, and people are starting to contact us looking for to look for work or have desire to go back to work or actually going back to work. So we have Nancy Marquez from FedEx. She reached out to me last January, and she and I have been discussing quite a few issues until recently we decided this is time to host an event for everyone. DCARA Employment Services is thrilled to have FedEx here as our first event this year to share information on how you can pursue a career at FedEx. Nancy, would you mind pulling the agenda up? All right, we'll proceed with introductions. My name is Michael Schmidt. I'm the lead employment specialist here at DCARA in the Employment Services Department. I'm also a services partner at American Job Center of California, located in Oakland. Nancy, why don't you go ahead and turn on your video and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Nancy Marquez. I am the Senior HR Admin here at FedEx Ground in San Leandro. I've been with FedEx Ground since last year, and I've also been connected with DCARA previously at another work site. And I wanted to continue that relationship, which is why I reached out to Michael in order to continue our efforts. Not just the community within the Bay Area, but also specifically the DCARA community and those persons who are currently receiving EBD benefits and such, and just to see someone to be there for within that community as well. And I guess I can take the next person.
Okay, Nick was supposed to be, I asked Nick to introduce. Hello, my name is Byung Lim, and I'm an employment specialist at the Job Center, American Job Center in Concord. And next person, please. Now, Naomi.
Hi, my name is Noemi Valenzuela. I'm the Senior HR Business Partner for FedEx Ground as part of the Bay District. I work alongside with Nancy Marquez. I have been with the company for about 5 years. And through my 5 years, we had strong partnerships with supporting a diverse hiring group. I believe I was part of some events in the past that you guys have hosted when we had things more in person. They were great events. If anything, I'm here to support Nancy as well as your organizations to see how we could strengthen our partnership to ensure that we're continuing to hire a diverse work group.
Well, we're happy that you both are here. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy and Noemi. We're thrilled to have you both with us. Okay, I have a few questions for you. I will sign them. And Nancy, either Nancy or Noemi can answer. So my first question is, what is FedEx? Can you tell us a little bit about the company? Nancy or Nick, please forward the slides.
Okay, well, I guess I can tell you the basics of FedEx is that FedEx Ground provides customers, businesses.
One moment, please. 1 moment, please. We're struggling with the, okay, here we go.
Awesome. So FedEx Ground provides customers and businesses worldwide with a broad portfolio of transportation, e-commerce, and business services. And our network operates independently, and they deliver the best services to customers without compromise. They compete collectively as a broad portfolio for customer solutions that are managed collaboratively, all under the FedEx brand. But I don't think really that's more of just a very clean-cut description of what FedEx is. Because I believe FedEx is more than that. It's more of a community. Just like, you have your own community within yourself. Once you become a member of FedEx, you're a part of a bigger community, not just a brand. FedEx invests over $200 million in more than 200 global communities in 2020 alone to create opportunity and deliver solutions to people around the world. We advance entrepreneurship, create employment pathways for underserved populations, enhance sustainable transportation, make roads and pedestrians being safer, as well as use our global network to deliver resources where they're in the remote, such of course as our illustrious COVID vaccine. But also FedEx Ground is committed, and we believe that inclusion makes us better. A diverse and inclusive culture is good for business because it increases engagement, morale, productivity, quality, profitability, creativity, and innovation. Of course, regional combinations are made available to all qualified individuals with disabilities throughout the application process. So, as I said, it's more of a community than anything else. I feel it's because of the different areas and the different goals we have, such as diversity and inclusion. And maybe Noemi can add some little bit to that.
You pretty much covered it. You're right. When I think of FedEx, and I'm just speaking from personal experiences, before I started working at FedEx, I worked for another company for 14 years, and venturing off to a new company was very scary. I told myself that I would start my career at FedEx and stay there for 2 years just to diversify my industry experience. But after being here, as I mentioned, I've been here for 5 years. I adapted the life of FedEx, and FedEx is more than just, as Nancy mentioned. Yes, you could cover what it is, delivering packages and miracles to our customers, but it is, you touch base on it. It's a family here, and what I love is that everybody's humble. And I never really worked for a company that is just, it feels like family. And with that, I just want to spread the word with everybody else so everyone knows like what a great company that we have here. And if anything, I know we cover the definition of what FedEx is, but to me, it's family. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, And I'd like to even add to that because, you know, with our with the things that and focus FedEx has, you know, we have such a diverse workforce, and it's not just the diversity of the people, but the diversity of what people are dealing with, whether it be women in leadership and in a place for them to grow and move forward, individuals with disabilities, even its social responsibility, as well as, you know, engaging and creating a space for our veterans. So it's quite, you know, a diverse place, and it's something that's I would have to say it's something that's supported, but it's also something that is uh, initiated. It's not something that's left to happen. It's something that we can focus on and to support, but also something that we move with.
This is Mike. Thank you both so much. As Nancy said, FedEx is not just about delivering boxes. They provide a range of services. So thank you so much for sharing that. And the fact that FedEx values an inclusive community, that's also important to us. My second question is, what was the impact of the pandemic for FedEx and their hiring? Were people allowed to work from home? Did you provide customer service from home? Were there increased distribution needs? How did the pandemic impact the FedEx as a workplace?
So there's two questions there. So I just didn't know which one you want to address first.
Yeah, to answer the first question, that's fine.
In regards to the pandemic, of course, it created a brand new scenario here for everybody. Of course, we do have those persons who have the ability to work from home, do work from home. But there's obviously understanding that FedEx is an essential business. They're delivering everything globally. And so as an essential business, we have essential workers. And those essential come so you can't, there are, again, like most businesses, there's some people who can work from home and those who cannot. But of course, those who cannot and are working are providing all, all sorts of resources for them, as well as opportunities for other things in relation to COVID and the testing information technology. And now that all of the adults are eligible to treat COVID-19, FedEx is launching new resources to make it easier for them to find. There's a latest separated vaccine information, nearby vaccine event opportunity, FedEx vaccine resource, and connect with someone who's live for vaccine-related questions. We're going to be operating the call centers and also some other events as well. And we also, of course, we are delivering the vaccines to various locations.
More and more businesses before the pandemic, what has changed? Do you have more business now? Has there been more shipping than there has been before the pandemic?
Yes. There is quite a bit more. I can't even expand on how much more there is.
So the need and the demand is much higher, and you need folks to meet that demand. A very
Right.
unexpected growth at the time.
Yes. The growth
That's
has
good
been-
news. Thank you
Yes,
for
it-
sharing.
It is good news. The growth has been exponential. And so you'll notice that at any particular time, when we go to our career center, our career website, there are always job opportunities in all different of our independently operated companies.
Do you want to go ahead and show the job positions that are currently available? Nick, if you
Yes.
can bring that up for us. The keyword.
So what I've got here is one is our main website to which you can go to reach all current openings within our FedEx businesses. Now you'll see it's not just FedEx Ground, it's all FedEx operations. But for our FedEx Ground positions, we currently have a list of all the different open positions within FedEx Ground in the Bay Area, reaching up from Fairfield to San Jose. So in this list here, each link, which I'm sure you'll share with your participants, each link is actually a hyperlink to all the positions open in the Bay Area with the requisition number and address to that. With that information, the requisition number, if you are unable to click on the link for some reason, that requisition number at that home page for FedEx Careers can be inputted, and then it will take you to the direct link of that position that is open.
Great. So there are a number of positions available all over the Bay Area.
Yeah.
For package carriers,
I can tell you-
mechanics, operations, a whole different host of different positions that'll be available, and we'll be sharing that information later on. We'll be posting that later on. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Very welcome.
The next question I have. Let's make sure I'm front and center. How is FedEx? How do you apply to FedEx? Can you please tell me the process? And Nick, if you wouldn't mind raising that question up on the screen before we get an answer.
There's a number of options.
Nancy, Noemi, either one of you, please respond.
So there's a number of options in which you can apply with FedEx. You can go to the website that I listed on document. You can also go, you don't have to go online to apply. We also have initiated another program in which we utilize text messaging to apply to positions. So you have there the link to all the open positions, but the text messaging is great because no matter where you live in the country, you can apply to any job within FedEx Ground through a text messaging link. And I can put that information in the chat. Basically, what it is you text the words FXG social, and through that, you put that into a number that you text to with 33011. So 33011 with the words FXG social in there, and you send that message off, and it will start an automatic virtual process of applying to a position within FedEx.
We'll show a slide. Nick, if you'll bring that up. It shows how to apply in the way she just described.
And there you'll see it says FX2 flyer. So there's a few options. One says FX2 social, or you can use this one as FXG flyer.
Nancy, if you wouldn't mind emailing me the updated options that they have, so I can make sure that I can post both of those.
Sure.
Wonderful. So you can apply online or you can apply via text.
Correct.
Those are two options available to you. Again, that's online or text message.
And the online and the text messaging versions are all virtual, and they are all initiated by the applicant. The applicant is a very interactive process. If you do not respond to the prompt, whether they're text or email, it will not go further until you respond to the prompt or text.
Wow. That's wonderful.
It is.
So the next question. So let's talk about PPE, personal protective equipment.
Yes.
Such as using masks, temperature checks, maintain social distancing, hand washing and sanitization stations. How do employees at FedEx, are they provided this PPE? Nick, if
Actually,
you want to show the question real quick. As you were saying?
so face coverings are required on all individuals upon entry and exiting the building, and they must be worn while on FedEx property. The social distancing requirements cannot be met. Of course, it's always going to be had, but you do have to have social distancing as well. FedEx actually has some processes in place and policies in place for all of our PPE. We do provide PPE here, masks, sanitizers, wipes, gloves, everything, because as we say here at FedEx cares about the safety, health, and well-being of our employees, and has been working with state agencies to prioritize vaccine availability and for access to vaccines for our frontline essential teams. We do supply our package handlers, employees with the ability to get tested for COVID. We have on-site testing at a nearby location as well. We are also finalizing details of the program to help U.S. FedEx team members access resources and to host vaccine events, as well as other items such as that.
That's wonderful news. Making sure those who work for FedEx feel safe and comfortable going into work each day, knowing that you care about them. Providing testing, providing PPE equipment. That's wonderful. Now, if you could just bring me up, Nick. Those who are looking for jobs, this is a good idea to have a look into the company and investigate what type of PPE they provide and what safety they're providing, and ask questions. Make sure you feel comfortable before applying. Also, if you'd like to know more information, you can come to our website. It's DCARA.org, and you'll see the COVID updates there listed. Once you click on that, it'll bring you up with a bunch of information about COVID-19, knowledge, how to prevent your infection, and educational materials. It'll be available for your leisure there, and how it continues to provide safety in work environments. Thank you very much. I think those are the questions that I have planned, but for viewers, I think it's now open to you if you'd like to ask any questions. Let's show the slide, Nick, if you'll bring that up. So we're going to try to balance it out first. So those who have their hand raised. And we'll have those answers, those in sign first, and then any text. So go ahead, please. Are we inviting the interpreter and Nancy into that as well? Yes, please do. Just give us one moment. I think we have one question from Mark. We don't seem to see your video, Mark. There we go. We see you now, Mark Vanny. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
I'm Mark. Mark Vanny. I'm with Employment Services, the Deaf and Hard of Hearing in Fremont, EDD office. Anyhow, so my question is, about what type of interview questions should I expect when I'm coming in for an interview? How best can I prepare for the interview and the questions you might have?
Well, as I said before, our interview process is now virtual, so no one will be coming forward. The interview questions that are sent via text or email will ask about location, if you have worked with FedEx previously, some experience, where you want, what location you're looking to serve, and if you are able to do the job that is described in the application that they are, in the job application they are going to. As well, that should have another question in relation to if you're able to, list the amount of weight for a particular package handler position. Of course, some positions aren't not package handler positions, so those questions may not be on those particular ones, but it's just a series of about 5 to 6 questions, and then the process moves forward. Did you have an additional question?
Do you provide a type of test?
What sort of testing?
Say, for the candidates?
Not so much a test, but because when they come in, some people have not had experience with package handlers. So we do provide training for those purposes. The test, there's not so much a test as actually questioning as to whether they can do the function of the job. Can they lift the package? Are they eligible at the age? You have to be 18 to apply for the position, and of course, be able to pass a background check. But the training itself, the testing, any sort of testing that happens is maybe when they're maybe they're training for a switcher position, and they'll have to take a test for that after they've been trained. Some of the tests occur after the training.
Okay, what about the interview part? You mentioned interview is sort of through text or chat. Is it sort of a first interview and then second interview? What does that process look like? Is there a panel interview, a team interview?
The process is that it is first apply. After you apply, there is those questions will determine if you work with us before, and then the application goes through one process that we have. If not, it will, it'll push forward to contingent offer, meaning that if you pass the background check, then the offer is that for the position. Once you pass the background check, then you're eligible to start and be hired for the position of a package handler. The other positions are not at the same role, because the package handler position is an entry-level position, so it's a little bit different than the other positions. Once you become eligible, then at that point, we will contact you. Let's discuss a little bit more about yourself. That's what I do. I like to get a little bit more background information. And then discuss the various shifts and schedules that are available. And then we would invite them in for orientation as they would be eligible for hire at that point. Positions that are not package handler positions do require a different process. And those processes are usually that person who is a package handler and moving up to another position would have an interview of that.
What about an IT position? Does that have a different process or interview process?
I'm sure that myself, I do not hire or staff for IT positions. Those are positions that would normally come through our corporate office.
Thank you.
But we do hold career fairs for other positions, such as engineers and things of the like. And so those do happen as well, but they are dealt with differently.
All right, thank you. This is Michael. Noemi, would you mind answering the questions in the chat? You could just answer them via chat. One is from Mac, asking if you have a list of open positions. And the second question is if you have other deaf people in management positions around the Bay Area.
So we do. I don't have the specific person's name, but we do. I believe Noemi.
Nancy, can you type the answer, please? Noemi or Nancy?
Noemi can type that information in. Would you like me to answer the last question in the chat?
Can you put the website address and the text information in the chat, please? You have an operations manager in San Francisco who is deaf or hard of hearing, as well as other administrative staff who are deaf and hard of hearing. Wonderful. That's answering Ann Lynn Parker's question. So there's a a question from Mac, and he's asking for the website where we can apply.
Website is the career website that we brought up earlier. I can grab that link as well.
Yeah, if you could put it in the chat for Mac, that would be great.
I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mac, your answer will be, or your question will be answered in the chat. Looks like the chat is going out to all of the panelists instead of everyone. And Lynn is not seeing the answers. There we go. Okay, right. Send your messages to all panelists and attendees. Thank you.
I do have a question for you guys and for your participants.
Thank you, Ann Lynn. Okay, Nancy, what's your question?
My question is for the community, the deaf and hard of hearing community. What are the things that you guys, what your community is looking for when it goes to look for employment or looking for a particular industry to work in or a particular company? What are the things that are really looking for support and accommodation?
This is Michael. Well, it really varies. Some people want full-time work, others want part-time. I work with clients who are janitors all the way to engineers. We focus right now on unemployment services we have for the last year, as I mentioned. And there's been not much work, not much for opportunities out there. And now people are looking for these opportunities, and FedEx is one of the businesses that has hired deaf people regardless of the pandemic. So that's why we wanted to make sure that people knew about FedEx is still hiring. So we have really a variety of needs, and I work with all of them.
Thank you. It helps us too.
All right, any more questions out there? So go ahead and raise your hand if you want to ask your question in sign language, or you can ask your question in the chat. Nick, can you go ahead and pull up the slide to show people they can either raise their hand or ask via chat? Do you provide interpreters for your deaf employees?
Yes.
So Matt has a question in the chat, Nancy, if you would not mind answering. So it sounds like we do provide interpreters, or Noemi, maybe you can answer that in the chat. So you do provide accommodations for your deaf employees?
Yes, we do. And we also have a machinery here as well for short conversations in which we can do help with sign support, as well as utilizing.
And Lynn has a question, if you would not mind answering. Do you have positions that are very simple and do not require literacy or reading?
Well, as package handler positions, you are having to look at the labels and the systems within that particular scanner and such. So there is definitely reading involved, but it's not intensive. But it is reading through the packages that are coming through and making sure they're selected. And maybe Noemi can expand a little bit more on that with some of our positions, not just package handlers, but the ones that are the other outstanding outside of that.
So there are basic literacy that is required, because as a package handler, you have to be able to read labels and signs and maybe push those packages down certain pathways, but it is very basic. For the most part, it's just having to deal with reading zip codes, packages, and just understanding where those zip codes are attached to based on the van lines, or what certain areas need to process those packages to ensure that they are getting to the right delivery truck driver and to the customer itself.
This is Mike. I'm going to go ahead and put your answer in the chat as well.
Thank you, Mike. And of course, that's the safety issue too, as we want to make sure that all of our employees are safe and they're able to use the signs within the facility that are signs specific to safety, not just performing your job, but keeping you safe and keeping you in a place where that you are safe at work physically as well. Correct.
Right. So you have to organize the packages according to zip codes. You have to be able to read the signs. Any other questions out there in the chat?
Any more questions out there? Asking again, any more viewers? Are there any more questions remaining? Please raise your hand if you'd like to sign your question or type your question in the chat. I think that we don't have any, so okay. I think we can end the question and answer session. Just to let you know, this event will be recorded and it will be present on DCARA's Facebook page and also DCARA's YouTube channel. Those of you who have friends or folks that you know might have missed today's session and would like to view it, they can view the session on both Facebook and YouTube, and we'll have the documents about job positions at FedEx available, as well as upcoming companies and more beneficial information that we'll have posted on DCARA's Facebook page with further details. Please tell your friends, let folks know if they missed today's session. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank everyone, the viewers, for your questions. You'd had excellent questions. Thank you for those. Thank you, viewers. And I think we're at the point where we can just wrap up.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Nick saying we might have a slide just to end us. Yes, I'm going to show one more time how we can apply and how you can reach out to us if you feel you need additional assistance or information. Nick, if you wouldn't mind putting up that slide quickly. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great day.
Before we go, one last thing. I'd like to give a big thank you to Nancy and Noemi.
Noemi.
Many big thanks to both of you, Nancy and Noemi, for being here today. We're thrilled to have you here, share the information you have about FedEx. And I think that it's a wonderful amount of information that people need to know about how your business is growing. So thank you again for being here today.
Thank you for having us. You have a great afternoon.
Bye, everyone.
Talk soon.
Thank Nick, my co-host, for your support and helping everyone out today. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. And thank our interpreters as well, Jewel and Pilar. Thank you for interpreting today. We also like to thank Bryce as our IT in the background, our IT support. Thank you very much. Running the room and making sure everyone's clear. Thank you. And also Jessica, pardon me, Brad, not Bryce, and Jessica and Amy from the marketing team who've taken all of the work on to do the recording and posting of the videos and sharing information. Thank you. And thank you, Fatima, for arranging the interpreters from the interpreting department. Thank you, Fatima. And I think that's what we have for today. Good luck on your job search. Work safe. Bye for now. Thank you. Thank you for watching.